What's going on, guys? Today I want to show you guys a very power-packed, my version of a power bar. This is a protein-packed, healthier Rice Krispie treat kind of with dark chocolate on top that is very satisfying, plus it's protein-packed. You're gonna want to have these every day as a snack, as a little cheat, but it's really healthy. You're gonna see all the ingredients that I put in it. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Once you learn how to do this, trust me, you're gonna probably want to do a batch every week to have for the rest of the week. So what we want to do first is we want to grab a jar of peanut butter. I like to use the organic natural peanut butter where the ingredients is just pretty much just peanuts and salt. So what we do is we get the whole jar and we throw it all in there. Medium heat, you want to put this in medium heat. You want to make sure everything is in there. Get everything out. Might take a little while. Right, next, after you add the peanut butter in there, you're gonna get some coconut oil. You're gonna put 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil. We're gonna add this to make it a little bit more liquidy. You want this to be more liquidy consistency. You wanna start, once you add it in, you're gonna see that it's gonna get more liquefied. You wanna make sure it's stirred in, pretty good. And it's gonna get more liquidy, which is what you want. You want to make sure the heat is kind of medium low so it doesn't start boiling. You don't want it to boil at all. Also, what I like to do is I like to add a tablespoon of vanilla extract, just a tablespoon, so I kind of measure it out like that. 1 tablespoon of that. And then I also add a tablespoon of maple syrup, just maple syrup, 1 tablespoon of that. Cabrón. And we're gonna mix that up right there. Give it a nice little flavor. And then what makes it really special is we're gonna spike these with some protein. And I like to use this flavor. It tastes really delicious. It's a True Supplements coconut macaroon. I use 2 scoops of protein here. And each scoop is 20 grams of protein. So we're really packing in the protein in these treats right here. So it's 40 grams of protein just in these 2 scoops on top of the protein that the peanut butter already has, the brown rice cereal that we're gonna use. It's gonna be protein packed. So once you add this, you start mixing this up. And then you're gonna notice also with the protein powder, it's gonna make it more creamy after this. So it's gonna reverse what we did and deliquefy it. But what we want to do is we want to make sure it's mixed in really well. Get that protein in there mixed in. So as you can see, the peanut butter looks more creamier, like kind of how it started. So what you want to do now is you want to add some more coconut oil. You want to add 1 more tablespoon of coconut oil so it could liquefy again. Just 1 tablespoon. Then we're going to mix it up. And this is going to liquefy it back again, make it more liquidy. And now as you can see, it's really smooth. It's almost looks like a soup, very liquidy and creamy, smooth texture. This is what you want. And you don't want it to boil, so this is where we're at right now. This is the perfect consistency that we want to keep. We want to turn off the heat right now. Turn it off now. And now what we want to do is we're going to add the brown rice cereal. So I like to use this organic brown rice cereal that you could get at the market. And for this serving is we're gonna use a 1.5 boxes. So you can get this at your local Sprouts, Trader Joe's, probably a Whole Foods market. This is a really good cereal, very healthy. So you wanna do is you wanna pour the whole thing in there. You want to get your spatula and you want to start folding in, and you're going to see that it's going to start to mix in there pretty nice. You want to fold it from the bottom. Now when it's mixing pretty good, you're going to see it's heavily condensed with peanut butter, which is fine. So you need to gauge it, and we're going to add more. So it's typically 1 box a box and a half of this. So we want to add another half of the other box. And then we're gonna mix it again. And then after this, you're gonna see a more consistent texture on it, which is what you want for the rice bottom of the treat. You see now it's looking really good texture where it could really stick now and hold together. So, you know, you want it to be very heavily saturated with the Rice Krispies, not too liquidy with the peanut butter, just the right amount. And you could just, you know, just see it with your eye and see if it needs a little bit more brown rice. Just add a little bit more until you get this consistency. And this is it. Once you have it like here, we're gonna transfer it over to the pan. We're gonna transfer it over to the pan, and then we're gonna just let it set in the fridge so it can cool down. Next, we're gonna get some parchment paper and we're gonna put it on our tray. And a good size for your tray for this serving is somewhere around 10 by 15 inches. That'll make sure to cover most of the area. So you wanna make sure you put this so it doesn't stick at the bottom. So we just dump this on this, and then from here, we're gonna mold it into our shape. Try to fill our pan as much as we can. Sometimes it doesn't fit the entire tray, so you could just kind of mold it and play it by, oh shoot, I broke this thing. And if you press too hard, this is what happens, so you gotta make sure you get something that's not, you know, don't do this after, you know, your workout, otherwise you're gonna just overpress it. Lucky I have another one right here. Hopefully I don't break this one because, yeah, this one's nice. Yeah, so you want to press it really good so, you know, once it sets, the dark chocolate that we're gonna put on top of it doesn't like sink in. So you want to press it nice and firm. Create your own shape here. And then we're gonna pop it in the fridge to make sure it's nice and set and cool. And then after that, we're gonna take it out and we're gonna pour the hot chocolate next. Guys, next we're gonna prepare the dark chocolate. I've burned this a few times, so I'm gonna have my wife help me out, Antoinette. She's an expert in doing all this stuff, so we wanna make sure we get it right and she gets it just right all the time. She's gonna help me out with this.
Yes, so what we're gonna do is, this is called a double boil. We get water inside of a pot and then we put the chocolate inside of here so that way it's less likely to burn. The trick is to keep stirring it. So we're gonna do about that much chocolate. And it's already been boiling for a while, so it should be melting pretty quickly.
That looks good, right?
Yeah.
And then you could play around with it too, like we were talking about earlier. We were
Throwing some peanut butter.
Some cinnamon, right?
Oh yeah, some cinnamon or some cayenne pepper. Get a little kick.
Or some peppermint for the holidays.
Oh, there's a lot of different things you could do with that. So I love the taste of cinnamon and chocolate together, and so I'm just gonna add some powdered cinnamon to the mix. 1 teaspoon. Next time I'm gonna do some cayenne pepper, get a little kick, you know. And there we go, just mix it in. Tastes like that Mexican chocolate. She ready.
Looks like the chocolate's ready, and now all we're gonna do is we're just gonna pour it on top, create a nice even layer as much as you want. It's better to melt the chocolate this way than putting it in the microwave. You're less apt to burn it, and it just tastes better like that.
Frank would know all about that. All about that burning.
Huh.
There, see?
All right, now we're just gonna pour it out.
Don't shake some of that water off.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna just like that. Teamwork. Zoom, and then just smooth it over. Look at that.
And then we're just gonna pop it back into the fridge, let it cool off, and then we're gonna cut it into squares. Now you don't wanna let it in the fridge too long because then the chocolate gets too hard and it'll get too hard to cut. And then what's gonna happen is when you try to cut it, it's gonna cut in really odd pieces. So you want to make sure it's cold, but just enough where like it's easier to cut. So we're gonna do that right now.
Yeah, and if you have toppings, right now is the time to do it. You want to
Yeah,
put
you could
some
sprinkle
like,
you could put some sea salt like we're gonna do right now. You could sprinkle some cinnamon. You could put a few jalapenos in there. You could, no, just
Frank would put some jalapenos.
you know, the holiday
boy.
season, you could throw in some peppermint, you know, whatever you want. But
Put
this
some
is
nuts,
this is really good.
Some peanuts and stuff. Yeah.
All right,
All right.
you want to do the sea salt?
All right. And then we're just gonna like. It's snowing. And that's it. And then we just pop it in the fridge. I'll let Frank take care of that.
Pop, pop. All right. Well, it's ready. It's not super hot. It's not super cold, but it's enough where we could cut it.
Just right.
Just right so we could cut it so the squares are more even. Easier to cut. We're gonna cut them, and after that, we're just gonna pop it back in there. So as long as you get the
Yeah.
cuts, pop it back in there so they get a little bit harder, and then they're ready to eat. Right here. The other sides.
Pop it back in the fridge.
Pop it back in the fridge. So right here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 15 squares right here. 15 squares, you know, that's a good batch. Really satisfy that sweet tooth. And again, our version of the Power Bars, protein packed. Try it out, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments. Gave you a good recipe on how to do them to make sure you fill up this tray. Again, this is a 10 by 15 inch more so a size, so you'll be able to fill all of this with what I showed you earlier. So try it out, guys. Let us know what you think, what you'd like to see next as far as recipes or workouts, and we'll see you next time.